People talk about Caitlyn getting hate, but someone sat down and spent hours putting together an 8-minute video with interlude clips all to trash Angel. Why?
But when the entitled complaints are coming from Angel Reese, it makes news throughout the mainstream media.
No, it's going to Caitlin Clark fans are mean. And if Caitlin Clark fans are mean and they're white, where does this head? Oh, you know it goes to racist.
Angel Reese is making waves in the sports world, but it's not for her basketball skills. Once hailed as a rising star, she's now diving into the controversial world of OnlyFans, leaving fans stunned. How did this happen, and is her rivalry with Caitlin Clark the catalyst for her shocking career shift? Buckle up, because this roller coaster of a story is just getting started. Angel Reese was once competing for the face of women's basketball. Following her remarkable performance at LSU, where she led her team to a national championship, all eyes were on her. Fans adored her fierce competitiveness and electrifying style. However, the intense rivalry with Caitlin Clark quickly overshadowed her achievements, shifting the narrative in women's sports.
She's on social media again, doing things that, well, I mean, when you consider the things that she has talked about that she has been subjected to, it makes you kind of throw up your hands and go, well, what are you doing?
Caitlin Clark emerged as a dominant force in women's basketball, winning accolades and breaking records that captivated fans across the nation. As the 2024 WNBA season approached, the tension between Clark and Reese intensified. Many fans were left wondering how the dynamics of this rivalry would affect their careers. While Clark basked in the glory of her Rookie of the Year award, Reese found herself grappling with frustration and disappointment.
Saying Angel Reese is better than Caitlin Clark is saying Rodman was better than Michael Jordan, or Ben Wallace was better than Kobe, or even Andre Drummond was better than LeBron.
The rivalry took a dramatic turn after the 2023 NCAA championship game. Reese was celebrated for her talent, but her on-court behavior drew criticism, with some questioning her sportsmanship. The pressure mounted as Clark's star continued to rise. Rumors swirled that Reese felt overshadowed by Clark's success, leading to a troubling trajectory in her career. As Reese struggled to maintain her status in the spotlight, speculation grew that her frustration was becoming more personal. Fast forward to the 2024 WNBA season, and the rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark reached a fever pitch. Fans were divided. Some supported Reese, while others rallied behind Clark. Then came the jaw-dropping announcement: Angel Reese was joining OnlyFans. This shocking move left the basketball community reeling. How could a promising athlete choose to pursue a career on a platform known for adult content? Critics argued that this decision could jeopardize her professional basketball career and risk her legacy in women's sports. Reese's entry into OnlyFans sparked heated debates about the expectations placed on female athletes. Was she trading her basketball future for a quick buck? Fans began to wonder if Reese's focus was more about maintaining her online presence than honing her skills on the court. Insiders speculated that this decision was driven by a desperate attempt to reclaim the narrative that Clark seemed to dominate. In interviews, Reese voiced her feelings of being marginalized compared to Clark. "There are two of us who changed the game of women's basketball," she stated, "but why is one celebrated while the other is scrutinized?" These comments ignited further discussion about race, gender, and favoritism in women's sports. Critics argued that instead of addressing the competition on the court, Reese was deflecting blame onto Clark, further complicating the rivalry.
So I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans.
As Reese delved deeper into her controversial career on OnlyFans, Caitlin Clark continued to shine. Her performances on the court spoke volumes, earning her respect from players, coaches, and fans alike. Clark was focused on improving her game, consistently racking up points, assists, and most importantly, respect. This unwavering dedication only highlighted the stark contrast between their paths, pushing Reese further into the background. As the season progressed, Reese's performance began to falter. Many fans noticed that instead of focusing on her basketball skills, she seemed preoccupied with her social media image. The media frenzy surrounding her OnlyFans debut overshadowed her talent as an athlete. Criticism poured in, with former fans expressing disappointment in her choices. Some labeled her a clout chaser, more concerned about her online persona than her contributions to women's basketball. While Reese's off-court antics grabbed headlines, the tension between her and Clark only deepened. Fans began to question Reese's commitment to the sport. Was she prioritizing fame over basketball? The backlash reached new heights when Reese publicly blamed Clark for her struggles, alleging that the media favored the Iowa star.
Then she had a press conference where she cried and everybody's so mean to me. Well, she's continued the stupidity. I mean, she cheered on her teammate as she shoved Caitlin Clark, knocked Caitlin Clark in the head, and a bunch of other stupid stuff.
This accusation fueled debates, with supporters taking sides in the escalating rivalry. Reese's decision to join OnlyFans was not just a career move, it became a pivotal moment in her life. Critics claimed this was a desperate act to cling to the limelight as her basketball career began to fade. The impact of her choices rippled through the women's basketball community, leaving fans and athletes alike concerned about the implications for the future of the sport. As the fallout from the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese rivalry unfolded, many wondered what it meant for the landscape of women's basketball. Would Reese be able to reclaim her former glory, or had she ventured too far into controversial territory? The choices made by both players will leave a lasting impact, shaping how future generations perceive women in sports. With every passing game and social media post, the stakes grew higher. Fans eagerly anticipated what would come next in this riveting rivalry. Would Angel Reese find a way to balance her newfound fame with her responsibilities as a professional athlete? Or would she continue down a path that risked her legacy in the sport? As the WNBA season progressed, the basketball community watched closely. The rivalry between Clark and Reese has become more than just a personal feud. It symbolizes the challenges female athletes face in an industry that often scrutinizes their choices. The narratives surrounding both players are shaping the future of women's basketball and challenging traditional perceptions. As the drama unfolded, some players and coaches began to speak out, emphasizing the importance of focusing on skills and teamwork rather than controversies. "We need to prove we're more than just headlines," said one coach. "It's crucial that we uphold the integrity of women's basketball." The contrasting paths of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark serve as a compelling narrative for fans. With Clark's continued success and Reese's controversial choices, the stage is set for a dramatic showdown. Will Reese be able to bounce back, reclaim her place in women's basketball, and show the world that she's still a contender? Or has she crossed a line that she can never return from? As this story unfolds, we are left to ponder the implications for both players and the sport as a whole. The choices made in the coming months will likely define their legacies. With both athletes at a crossroads, the basketball world is on the edge of its seat, eager to see what happens next. As the rivalry deepens and the stakes rise, we are left to wonder, can Angel Reese find her way back to the court, or will her decisions lead to an irreversible fallout? The choices she makes now could redefine her legacy in women's basketball. Keep watching closely because this saga is far from over.
Basketball star Angel Reese says her WNBA salary does not cover her rent. An ongoing Instagram Live, the Chicago Sky star says she pays $8,000 per month for rent. That's $96,000 each year, but her WNBA salary is only $73,000. That's not that she can't pay the rent. Earlier this year, Reese told ESPN her salary was just a bonus on top of her endorsements.
Angel Reese, the rising star of the Chicago Sky, just dropped a bombshell that has fans and critics alike talking. Imagine making it to the WNBA, only to find out that your salary doesn't even cover your rent. That's right. Reese revealed that her $74,000 salary can't pay for her $8,000 a month rent. How is this even possible in a professional sports league? Stick around because we're diving into the real financial struggles facing WNBA players and how Reese's comments are sparking a conversation that the league can't ignore. On October 16th, Angel Reese took to Instagram Live to reveal a startling truth about her WNBA salary. In a candid moment, Reese laughed off the idea that her WNBA paycheck could pay her bills, especially her $8,000 a month rent.
I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all.
Reese said bluntly.
I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Literally. I'm trying to think of like my rent for where I stay at. I'm gonna do the math real quick.
It might cover that. Yeah, it
Is that
covers
like-
that. It
is
definitely
it-
covers that.
What is my, I don't even know my salary. 74? I don't even know my salary. Does it? Let me see. You don't even, yo! I'm living beyond my means!
Reese, who was drafted as the 7th overall pick by the Chicago Sky, signed a rookie contract worth around $74,000 for her first season. But as she shared with her followers, that salary doesn't come close to covering her $96,000 a year rent. Reese's admission has shined a light on the growing financial challenges that WNBA players face, even as they compete at the highest level of their sport. The average salary in the WNBA for most rookies hovers around $60,000 to $75,000, a far cry from the multi-million-dollar contracts seen in the NBA. For comparison, even a minimum contract in the NBA is worth over $900,000. The stark contrast between the earnings of male and female professional basketball players has been an ongoing conversation, but Reese's comments bring the issue back to center stage. While some argue that the WNBA is still growing and can't afford to pay players like the NBA does, players like Reese are bringing attention to the financial pressures they face. In fact, her Instagram Live session made it clear that living in major cities like Chicago with high rent prices can be nearly impossible on a WNBA salary alone. But before you start feeling too bad for Reese, it's important to note that she's far from struggling financially. While her WNBA salary might not cover her rent, she has multiple endorsement deals that more than make up for it. Reese, known as the Bayou Barbie, signed significant deals with companies like Reebok, Amazon, McDonald's, PlayStation, and Coach. These deals reportedly total around $1.7 million, according to USA Today. This has become a trend for many high-profile WNBA players, with the league's salaries unable to keep pace with the cost of living and the demands of being a professional athlete. Endorsement deals have become a critical part of how players make a living. Reese's Reebok deal alone is worth more than her entire rookie contract with the Sky. It's these sponsorships that allow her to live the lifestyle she does, but not every WNBA player has access to such lucrative opportunities. The WNBA has made strides in recent years, but the question remains, why aren't WNBA salaries higher? Part of the reason comes down to revenue. The NBA generates billions of dollars in revenue each year, while the WNBA is still working to grow its audience and sponsorship deals. The WNBA's current media rights deal is worth $50 million per season, a fraction of what the NBA brings in. However, with players like Reese bringing more attention to the league, that number could change soon. In fact, Reese's popularity and impact on the league go beyond her play on the court. She, alongside other stars like Caitlin Clark and Sabrina Ionescu, is driving viewership and ticket sales, which could lead to bigger media deals and more money for the league. Already, discussions about a new media deal worth $200 million are taking place, a huge increase from the current deal. If these negotiations go through, WNBA salaries could finally see a significant boost. Reese's candid remarks highlight a truth that many WNBA players face. Making a living solely off their league salary is nearly impossible. While top players like Reese, Breanna Stewart, and A'ja Wilson supplement their income with endorsement deals, other players don't have that luxury. Players who don't secure major endorsement deals often find themselves playing overseas during the WNBA's off-season, where they can make significantly more money. This extra strain of playing year-round takes a toll on their bodies and mental health, but for many, it's the only way to maintain a stable income. The financial pressure doesn't just affect rookies or bench players. Veteran stars have also been vocal about the need for higher salaries and better support for players. Many argue that the WNBA should increase its salary cap and provide better benefits, such as housing allowances or higher base salaries, to help players live comfortably in the cities where they play. Angel Reese's decision to speak openly about her salary is part of a broader movement of athletes using social media to discuss their financial realities. In a world where professional athletes are often seen as living glamorous lifestyles, Reese's comments bring attention to the fact that many athletes, especially in women's sports, are still fighting for fair compensation. Her Instagram live session quickly went viral, sparking debates among fans and sports analysts about the disparities between men's and women's sports.
Yesterday, we got another example, I think, of her on her own podcast complaining about how she can't afford an $8,000 a month rent payment. It's the epitome of first world problems. It's the epitome of first world stupidity. It's the epitome of just Angel Reese not being well thought out.
Some critics argue that players like Reese are living beyond their means, while others believe her transparency is essential for pushing the WNBA to improve its pay structure. Reese's playful comment,
Yo, I'm living beyond my means. It's like,
highlighted the absurdity of the situation, how a professional athlete's salary can't cover basic expenses like rent. But more importantly, her remarks have sparked a renewed conversation about how WNBA players are valued and compensated. Despite the financial struggles that come with being a WNBA player, Reese has maintained a positive outlook on her career. In a reflective social media post, she spoke about the highs and lows of her rookie season, which was cut short due to a wrist injury. Even though she couldn't finish the season, Reese made it clear that she's focused on making an even bigger impact in year 2. Through it all, I have showed that I belong in this league even when no one else believed, Reese wrote in her post. Her determination to prove herself in the WNBA, despite the challenges she's faced, is part of what makes her a star both on and off the court. With endorsement deals and a promising WNBA career ahead of her, Reese is positioning herself as one of the key players who will help elevate the league. But her honesty about her financial situation also makes her a voice for change, pushing the WNBA to address the pay gap and improve conditions for all players, not just the top earners. As the WNBA continues to grow, the pressure is on to find ways to improve salaries and benefits for players like Angel Reese. The league's current financial model may not be enough to support its rising stars, especially as more attention and investment pour into women's sports. With Reese's growing influence both as a player and a media personality, her voice will likely be a key part of future discussions about how to move the WNBA forward. She has already proven that she's willing to speak up about the issues that matter. And as she continues her career, it's clear that Reese will be at the forefront of the WNBA's evolution. But for now, Reese's comments have left fans and analysts wondering, how long will it take before the WNBA can pay its stars what they truly deserve? Angel Reese's honesty about her WNBA salary has reignited the debate about pay in women's sports. While endorsement deals are helping stars like Reese, the reality is that the WNBA has a long way to go before it can offer salaries that match the cost of living for its players. As the league continues to grow, will we see the changes needed to give players like Reese the financial security they deserve? Stay tuned, because this conversation is far from over.